Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, New Powerpuff Girls, Star vs. the Force of Evil, and RWBY. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing Chapter 5 of Volume 4 of RWBY, Menagerie. Delaney and I discuss RWBY every week that it's new here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or your other favorite podcatcher. Follow along with our all season long with our RWBY episode discussions by subscribing on YouTube if you're listening there, or on our iTunes feed or other podcatcher feeds. So we're going to get right into Menagerie. Very hyped to discuss this solo Blake episode. Spoilers for Menagerie and all previous episodes of RWBY. But let's get right into this. Delaney, not only is this heavy Blake, this is only Blake.
Yes.
So this must be your fave episode.
It would be my fave, except Sun is there.
So
and
there's a lot of Sun too, yeah.
I hate him. Go
so
away.
So you're Blake's dad in this episode.
Yes, I'm Blake's dad.
Yeah.
Though I really like her mom so far. Yeah, I really liked it. It's a little weird. Like, it's really fast. We get kind of like a bunch of information that just kind of like dropped on us. But I am Blake's dad because I hate Sun.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I'm neutral on Sun in this episode. He's obviously an idiot, but
yeah, no, he's clearly an
idiot. An idiot. But yeah, no, there's a lot of exposition here, right? This is like their White Fang Menagerie exposition episode, and they kind of try to just pack it into 10 minutes in this one episode. It's an interesting choice, I guess.
The dialogue's not too bad. Like, they do it okay. It's fine. It's just like a lot.
Yeah, I think this is some of their better exposition work. That being said, typically it's not very good. So, right. Like, this is, like, you still have...
More vague nonsense.
Yeah, you still have stupid stuff like them saying, like, the two White Fang people, like, saying that Blake's dad is the chieftain, like, within their dialogue, which doesn't really make sense that they would say that. That he was, like, formerly the high leader of the White Fang. They, like, throw that into their dialogue. It's stuff like that. They're not super good at expositioning in a logical way, but it was better than normal here. I think it's an interesting choice to give Blake this solo episode. I guess that this is some of the strongest non-RWBY material this season. Like, I don't think from what we've seen of Weiss, you couldn't have had a solo episode with her, but then again, we've only had one thing. And I think the Yang stuff you could have probably done in one episode though, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I liked Menagerie, yeah. Last week was very strong for this show, and then I think this week was fine. Like, I don't think that this is us crashing down quality. Like, we're kind of expecting something to go wrong here, because the season's
just more info.
It's just a little exposition episode. There's not a lot to talk about, like, good, bad, but we will analyze it. We'll talk about all our new characters here. With all of them have interesting spellings. So,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so to start with, how about Menagerie as a concept? Because last week on World of Remnant, they basically say what they say here, so I don't know what the point of the World of Remnants are. If it's like, okay, they gave the Faunuses this island after the war, and it's like, okay, now you're equal. I didn't really like that expositioning in the beginning about that, between Blake and Sun. And I don't know why we need to explain that this is like the Faunus Island. I don't know why we need to know that it's 2/3 desert. Why is that important to know? But, what do you think of this?
Here's your encyclopedic knowledge of...
Yeah,
like, I don't know, it's like... We talk about this a lot for this show, sometimes people are like, oh, we know this. No, we don't know anything. Be quiet. But, like... I don't like. It's like they're like, "Oh, you guys want to know stuff? Let's give you fun." I don't need to know fun facts.
Yeah,
like,
let's pick and choose better. But regardless, what do you think of the concept of Menagerie, of this Faunus Island?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it adds something, I think, a little bit to this conflict between the rest of the world and the Faunus. Makes sense. It's not really unique or interesting, but it's there.
Yeah, I think the World of Remnants is actually a better job of kind of like explaining why it's important to have a Faunus Island, because Crow's kind of like, okay, you put all these people who you're not treating well in one place, and then it makes sense that the White Fang would emerge. So right. I feel like that's kind of the concept surrounding this, and I think that is a good like an origin story for the White Fang.
Well, this is definitely better. It's better that this, like, I didn't watch the World of Remnant because I keep forgetting, even though my friend was like, they posted World of Remnant.
Yeah, they said everything in this episode anyway, so.
But my thing is, like, they also, like, if they're going to make World of Remnants, don't say it in the episode.
Yeah, I would prefer that I've said it before, I'd prefer that they do everything in episode. Then again, maybe for them it's better to not, but given the current situation.
Well, I mean, it's like, if we're going to do, like, here's your geography lesson for the week, like, put that in the World of Remnant.
Yeah. Yeah, so Menagerie, I think the most notable thing about Menagerie is that this episode needed to be in this season because one of the main differentiators of production quality this season is that they've gotten significantly better with background characters. Yes. And there's like a solid 2 minutes of this episode, which we're just kind of looking at all these cool faunus designs. And if this,
neat. That was cool.
I like it. If this was season 1, they would be shadows. So very good that this is now that we've saved until. But yeah, I kind of like that. Just now that you have the capability of showing all these interesting background designs, let's just exposition that way. I thought that
also was it's pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty, and there's a lot of cool people, cool animal people. We don't spend enough time on the show looking at interesting animal people designs. No. What do you think of Blake this episode? So Blake meeting her parents again, the interactions with Sun, and then whatever, her reaction to the White Fang people. What do you think of her interactions with her parents, first of all?
Well, they kind of made her a robot in this episode. Like, she's just a little, like, stilted a lot.
Would you say that Blake is normally not a robot?
She's just more robotic, and, like, it's just awkward. Like, she's awkward in general, but, like, this is, like, more... They made her more... Like, it's almost like more season 1, like, where it's, like... White Fang clenches fist, like, and then gets like really like, I don't know. They just had a lot of her just like talking but not really being a character. It was okay for the most part. I don't know. It's just been we also never get Blake, so it's like I don't even know who Blake is anymore.
Yeah, it's weird because this is the most Blake we've seen in 2 seasons, so
it's just like what?
Yeah.
Her actions with her parents, like that was like I thought it was nice, and her parents seemed chill. The White Fang stuff, I think, was probably... that was the most interesting and probably the most in character that was going on, was her being like, I'm going to punch you off my, doorstep.
Yeah, that was very Blake.
Also, like, this is the weirdest interaction. Like, what?
What, with the 2 White Fang people?
Yeah, they just show up, and I don't know, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on in this episode. It's fine. I don't know, I think it's just more of the weird, awkward exposition.
Yeah, but I think Blake. I think you're right. We haven't seen enough of Blake that it's like, oh, this is Blake. I feel like Blake is kind of this character doesn't show emotion that much, so I think it makes sense that
I don't know. It's just weird. Also, like Sun's there, and it just makes things weird. Like it's whatever.
Yeah, and of course we choose to focus on Sun's interactions when we could be focusing on Blake and her parents.
Right,
like typical RWBY.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there. Like, literally, her mom's like, "Why is he here?"
Yeah, and literally she says that, and I mean it's fine what he does, and they have the super cringy joke with him.
Yes.
But and I guess I like Sun being like awkward. Like if we're gonna have Sun, like let's make him like awkward because that makes him more relatable and like more sympathetic to me. But it's just like I'd rather see Blake's relationship with her dad, and
like there's literally no reason for him to be there.
There's not. He can be there and you can just like not focus on him right now. But yeah, were you feeling the Black Sun this episode?
No,
you're not. Why not?
Because I hate it.
You hate it. Oh yeah, that's so unexpected. Yeah. The confirmation of Sun's feelings this episode. Sun says that she is above average looking. Tongue in cheek.
I love the look on her face when he says that. Like she's just like, what is wrong with you? It was so good.
What do you think of Blake's mom being like, I like him? What do you think of that?
It's funny, and it's just the typical like parent like conflict where it's like her dad like hates him, and then she's like, he's fine, he's fine.
You don't think it's like what a handsome young man? Not like that.
I don't know. Who knows?
Blake's mom is Kali, Kali.
Okay.
I thought it was like Collie, like border collie at first, and it's like LOL. And her dad is Gira, Ghria. Okay. Yeah, interesting names. What do you think of? We spend like a solid 5 seconds just staring at Gira's character design. I thought that was not needed.
Yeah, he's.
What do you think of him?
He's fine. I mean, his character design's like awkward, but it's okay.
At one point, he tells Blake, "Enough," and he's not like condemned by anyone for doing that, so I'm not a big fan of that. He's like,
I don't.
Like, I guess he's chieftain, but I did not like that Blake treatment. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's also we haven't seen enough interaction. This episode is like fast paced, and there's like 9 million things that they just like drop in your lap.
yeah.
I just wasn't like, if we see more of it, he might get more on my nerves. But like,
it was just one thing, and Blake didn't really react badly, so you get the feeling that that's not a frequent thing. So like,
right.
they probably have a fine relationship. So
yeah.
What's the?
Well, I mean, it's kind of. I also understood it's like, don't murder the people on our doorstep. Like,
I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, he is chieftain of Menagerie. So I guess that's like he rules the island.
Yeah,
I guess they did have the biggest house. So because they say like the city that they go into a specific area, and she names the area, and he's not chieftain of the area; he's chieftain of the Menagerie. So
right.
And former high leader of the White Fang. So that's interesting. That Blake's dad. I don't know if we remember if we knew that or not, but
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we did either. But there's a lot of vague information before with the White Fang.
True.
Yeah. So what do you think of Blake's dad formerly leading the White Fang? Does it add interesting conflict to her White Fang arc?
I mean, I think it does, and also it makes a lot of sense as to like it adds a little bit more background to like why Blake was involved, why she probably like it adds more to like this sense of betrayal. I think.
Yeah.
And it'll probably cause more conflict later.
Yeah, I guess this warrants an explanation of why we needed of like why Adam was able to get power in the White Fang now, especially with Blake's dad.
Yeah.
Formally being in charge. Like, it seems a little unearned at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Like, why is Blake relegated so much, given this position she was in? So, I don't know. They mention Sister Ilya, the two White Fang guards. The two White Fang guards.
Gay.
What do you mean gay?
Gay.
Oh, Blake. Oh, Sister will be happy to see Blake. Oh, okay. Are you shipping Ilya and Blake? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
without having seen or know anything about her, just based off of her name.
It sounds pretty gay.
So, what part of this sounds pretty gay?
She'll be happy to see gay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's your. So, what's the ship name of the Ilya and the Blake?
Well, we don't know what she looks like, so we can't figure it. I mean,
what if she's like 70 or something?
I mean, it could just be like. I mean, those are the options.
Or she could be like 10. Like,
yeah, it's either like gay or it's like mentor.
Gay or mentor, or what about like younger sister?
Yeah, it could be that too.
What about like former mentee under Blake, who's now a similar age to her? What about that?
That doesn't make a lot of. Well, I mean, just like she's an adult, so I guess that would be like okay-ish.
I don't know how long. I don't know the timeline on how.
I don't know.
Blilia, Illake.
That's not how ship names work.
Oh yeah, they don't work on this show. Yeah, you need to know what her color is. That's right.
Yeah, we don't know.
What's her color? Okay, so yeah, get your Sister Ilya speculation in. But these two seems like they care. I don't know. Do you think that they are like close to Sister Ilya because they said she'll be happy to see you? Does that mean? And since they're evil, does that mean she's evil too? Yeah,
we don't know.
It's a good point, huh? I bet you didn't think of that one.
Nope.
Okay, these two guys are Corsac and Fennec Albane, presumably brothers, actual brothers, not just White Fang brothers.
Actual literal brothers.
Yeah. What do you think of Corsac and Fennec?
They're super creepy, and like their whole like Assassin's Creed weird out. Like they're just weird.
Yeah,
it's like the Brotherhood has come to visit you.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I don't think they had particularly strong dialogue, but super props to their voice actors. Because,
no, the voice actors did a really good job.
Yeah, I think they really sold those two characters because
they made me very creeped out. Good job.
Yeah, props there. Let's talk about this. I think the most interesting decision of the episode, and really the only decision that the writers make, is to reveal that they are indeed working with Adam. Let's get to our ask from patron Andy, who says, I was really excited for a good White Fang. I thought it was a little fishy, but it was super disappointing that we were told they were evil right away. The biggest problem this season, besides lack of RWBY, is that we've been told every single thing. Everyone just has too many lines. If the White Fang members just walked away saying that was interesting and left it at that, the audience would be left in suspense. Instead, we learn what we already know, that Blake will be attacked. So I think this is a very conscious decision to like say, yeah, we're working with Adam, because you could have easily left that off and there would have been suspense here.
Yeah, I don't think it's a smart decision. Like, I think that's like, the whole we get told everything is very like, that's literally the most irritating thing about the show. And then the things they tell us are super vague and don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely, I feel like they should have left it off, but, whatever. Granted, at the same time, it's also like, at least we're not going to go through this, like, annoying, convoluted arc.
Yeah.
Where we think they're good, and we're like, they're not. We know they're not.
Yeah, so on one hand, I would have been preferred to have like shown this instead of bad expositioned it to me.
Yes.
But on the other hand, the show reveals so little information about its grander mythology, and it like still like just kind of piles everything at one point at the end. I at least like that they're not hiding everything, I guess. Mythology wise, but yeah, I didn't like that. It's like, okay, these guys are creepy. Okay, they are creepy. Like, what's the suspense here? What's the creepy. What's the interesting element here? I don't know. I'm just ultimately now I don't really care what they do. It's like, okay, they're working with Adam. Great.
It's like, yeah, they're all evil. Okay.
Also, it's not really appealing to just have all the White Fang be bad. Like, we were looking forward to, I don't even remember her name. That
the leader, yeah,
the high leader. It's not, it wasn't Sister Ilya, so it's someone different. The high leader of the White Fang, not Adam. If she's good, if she's not working with Adam, but now still every White Fang we've met is working with Adam. So that's
there's still the chance that she is not evil. Like, there's just kind of this splinter.
I think that's what they are going to go for. But I just don't know if that's the majority of the White Fang. Why haven't we met any of them yet? Like, still, again, we meet more of this splinter group. I do agree that probably when we meet her, presumably this season, she will be not working with Adam.
I would hope so. That would actually be interesting.
Yeah. Although, I don't know. There's a way to make her interesting if she's in charge of Adam too, Yeah. Yeah. That'd kind of be interesting. But,
I don't know. The White Fang, it fails to hit the notes that they're trying to hit. Just consistently. The White
It really
Fang
has been one of the least strong elements of the show's mythology for a while now. And this episode had a good. This was one of the big focuses on them since like season 1, to be honest. And it didn't really come through, I would say. Like, I think it was fine what they did in episode, but just from a larger mythology perspective, nothing changes here.
Right. It's just like, oh, okay, you guys actually aren't good, but Adam's going to show up and stab Blake again. Awesome.
Yeah, great. I would be very, very not happy if Adam showed up in this Blake arc. That wouldn't, No. Not looking forward to that. We'll see. We'll speculate in a little bit. But like, okay, what haven't we hit on here yet? We have random thing I want to mention. At some point, we have this son, and the best son and Blake moment is which house do you live in? And then she's like pointing at the middle one.
That one.
And then
he freaks out.
Yeah, and then the best thing is like this, like the show does nods really well. Like, I don't know what it is about their animation, but like the single Blake nod was like timed really well, and like and they don't have her say yes after. It's just like that's I don't know. I see this. I saw that on the second time watching. It's just like really cute. This like one Blake nod.
Yeah,
and like that was the only time I was feeling the Black Sun was in that moment.
Just that one time.
Yeah, I thought that was fine. But yeah, overall, Sun's interactions. Like I said, I think that he was kind of awkward, which makes him better than like hyper confident and I can do anything Sun, kind of like he was in the beginning.
I mean, like he was like his least annoying in this episode, but like the fact that he's there just
I mean he didn't need. I mean, obviously logically, like he didn't need to say talk about her attractiveness. Like, you could have just said I was talking about her fighting and then left it there. And the fact that he gets into that is super annoying. But whatever. It's not. I'm not blaming that on Sun. I'm blaming that on the general aspect, the general show, the show in general. Sun is absolves. Blake's dad. I really don't like you at the end.
Good.
Was that your favorite moment of the episode?
Yes, probably.
So those guys were creepy, says Sun. Yeah, that didn't necessarily.
I really don't like you.
I really don't like you. Yeah, his voice actor was good too.
Yes.
Gira. Yeah. What do you think of? We talked about them as parents, I guess. Their designs. Anything interesting about that?
I think they look fine and they're like interesting. And the dad's a little weird. But
what was his animal thing? Did he have cat ears? I don't remember.
No, he has like fur all over his body.
What animal is he?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. On the World of Remnant with faunuses, they talk about if two different animal type faunuses have a kid, then it could be any type of animal, not just the two that they are.
That makes no sense,
Yeah,
but okay.
that's like Avatar levels of.
That's the Avatar levels of making no sense.
Which makes sense because this is their main inspiration. But yeah, so Blake turns out as a cat and Mom is a cat. If her dad's a different animal, and she could have been anything, so that's interesting. Where's our alternate Blake designs?
It makes zero sense, but all right.
Yeah. Also, that World of Remnant confirmation that faunus and humans can have kids fine, and then you're probably just going to get that faunus's animal trait.
Cool.
Yeah, that's for your fanfics, kids. So there you go.
There you go, y'all.
Yeah. What did they talked about the White Fang of Beacon? Yeah. Yeah, I think we had everything. Okay, but the last thing was Tyrion at the end.
Oh yeah.
So we see the cute bartender from 2 episodes ago. I'm glad we're bringing her back. That Crow got the drinks from. And Tyrion's just there. Being creepy and is like, I need to find someone. So what do you think of throwing this in at the end?
Well, I'm assuming we'll be seeing RWBY next. And I doubt we'll be like flipping back. It'll just be RWBY and like Tyrion after them. Or we might have another episode where we just see a flash of Tyrion and then we'll get into like Tyrion after them.
I especially like this if we're doing the Tyrion ambush next episode because like we haven't seen him in like 5 episodes, so I think this is a good reminder.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't like it if we're waiting another week because I don't know what the point is of throwing it in here. Just it's like, okay, this was our single episode thing, so whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I do like the awareness that she was a strong background character too. That's good. Also, if you looked at the season is a good animation, but she's scrubbing the floor and she's like not moving, like whatever she's using to scrub the floor, it's just like in one place. Like there's no like movement with that animation. So we still have room to grow here, but overall, I think it's been very good. Also, Blake's new design was it was clearly displayed, and she's very attractive, I would say.
She's my fave. Blake's the best.
Blake's the best, yeah. I would say the biggest beneficiaries of the character designs, 1 Weiss, 2 Blake.
Yes. Well, I don't agree. But...
Well, you could say the top 2. How about that?
I mean, I probably agree with that.
How about the top 2?
Yes.
Beneficiary. Okay. We have our Nightblood 2013 on Tumblr screen times, which was pretty apparent because this was one thing. We have Blake 6 minutes 4 seconds, Sun 5 minutes 39 seconds, and then all the other
an episode about Blake.
Number 1, Blake. So here's my so I think that this wasn't particularly interesting this week because it was mostly Blake, but we're either me or Nightblood or someone else after next week, because next week is our last episode of December, and then that's like halfway through the season, and we'll go again in January. I want to add up all the screen times, and then I want a ranking of all the first 6 episodes. So that's what I would say is the thing after next week is what we should have.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I think what's going to happen is RWBY's going to be like 5th. So then we can really complain about that. So
then we can really complain. Then we can really start.
I want the evidence first. Let's do that.
Yes.
But yeah, it was good to see a Blake specific episode. So we had this post by Gray, head of Rooster Teeth Animation, that's like, okay, no new episode on Thanksgiving, 2 no episodes the week after that. So we know there's a new episode next week, and then implicit is no episodes the rest of December, which is what they did last year. But we got future info about the show in this last paragraph. So it says, be sure to stick with us for future episodes as RWBY and Team Ranger find they are not alone on the road to Mistral. Weiss continues to be caught up in her family's machinations in Atlas, and Yang begins to look for a path to recovery. So that's not a ton of information, but the Team Ranger are not alone. So presumably that means Tyrion. Yeah, but it could also be that they figure out that Crow's been with them.
Ooh, yeah, true.
That'd be interesting.
Both at the same time.
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, Crow comes to defend them. Probably, you would think that might happen. Weiss, her family machinations. Maybe we'll see the charity concert. Maybe not. And then Yang begins to look to a path to recovery. So we're not necessarily done with the Yang arc. So Yang will be training and stuff, I guess. Do you think we'll see all 3 of those plot lines next episode?
I'm gonna say def not.
Def not. I think. I would guess A, Team Ranger, Tyrion attack, B plot, Weiss, but you could also have like minor, quick check-ins with Yang if you want.
Right. I don't know. I mean, it also, we never know. We never know how long an episode's going to be, so there's no telling.
Yeah, this episode is 10 minutes. Next week will be 20 minutes, so.
Like, who knows?
Yeah. Excited to see more RWBY, but I'm not. She'll probably speak twice.
And then Jon.
And then Jon will just. Jon will probably save the day and kill Tyrion. You know? And yeah. Has Jon had his Neville moment yet? Or are we still waiting for that?
I mean, is it going to happen, though?
Yes, he'll definitely. He is the Neville, right? Like,
except he's like totally.
Except he's much worse, but he is.
But I actually liked Neville before Neville had his moment.
Yeah. I don't think he's done anything yet, so I think he still needs to have that moment.
Yeah, he'll have his Neville moment, and I'll still hate him, but it's fine.
I guess that would be in the finale, not in the season finale, but maybe. But yeah, other than that, what's gonna happen with Weiss's arc? Because we haven't seen her that much.
Who knows?
Weiss is now clearly the least of them.
She is now Blake. I guess we'll just have to. Just whatever's gonna happen with the charity thing. Don't really. I don't know. I really don't know where they're going with hers. It's all like we know where like RWBY has a goal. Blake has met her goal, but obviously more is gonna happen. Yang, Weiss is kind of the wild card. We really don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. It seemed originally like Weiss would be the most important of these three arcs, but it's not clear what's happening now. I think it's just we didn't get any direction. We're like, okay, start prepping to sing at the charity concert. So that's the only direction we really have.
Yeah, that's the only
I'm not sure who else she could run into. Like, she already ran into the one person that we care about who she could run into, Ironwood. So I don't think anyone else could be in her arc really, unless it was a villain.
We're not gonna it's not until everyone just comes back. Well, her dad could be in cahoots with the villains.
Yeah, or the White Fang or something. Yeah, but hey, that last
something will probably happen at the charity concert. We'll encounter a character we know, but Weiss doesn't.
Yeah, that could have. People thought we'd converge at the concert, but it doesn't seem like that's where we're going.
No, that doesn't. No, that doesn't make a lot of
sense. Let's check in our reunion, our Team RWBY reunion. Are we any closer to the Team RWBY reunion? No.
No.
In fact, they are very far apart right now. We have one in the top of the world, one in the bottom right of the world, one moving towards. I guess Blake and RWBY aren't going to be that far away.
Right.
Weiss is very far from them, and Yang is very far from them.
Yes.
If the two that are closest are not our ship pairs, they are your ship, the RWBY Blake, and then the Yang Weiss. So if they're gonna have a reunion, I would say it was those people first, but maybe.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Then again, Ruby's also not fully on the Eastern continent yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, we will have to see if she gets there.
Yeah. So do you think? So next up, do you think she could get there at the end of next episode?
I mean, maybe, but then it's also there's also no I have no concept of how far this journey is supposed to take, and they really haven't been doing anything. So I feel like they should, if they actually want to have some progress and get somewhere.
Yeah, I think this season's moving too slowly.
Well, I think definitely it's like the RWBY, it's like Deathly Hallows, the extended camping trip. There's just nothing going on, which is why it's I want to see the other characters because RWBY, you're not doing anything. So we're gonna have to I think they need to get somewhere quick.
I just don't think that it was a good decision to separate them like this.
No,
because they haven't done anything with it. Really.
Well, that's the thing. They separated them and they have them on these little journeys, but the thing is they're just not interesting and they're not doing anything with them.
I mean, what they've had is fine. This episode is fine.
Right.
There's some of the stronger Blake stuff we had in a while, and the Yang stuff was fine. That was some of the stronger Yang stuff we've had. But overall,
it's moving really slow.
I think that's more of a praising of their production quality improvements overall. I don't think it's a good thing about the specific arcs. I don't think I'm super invested in these specific story arcs.
Yeah, same. I think it's just more of we got a little bit better.
Yeah. So, I'd be interested if they did something else soon.
Yeah.
At the very least, next episode, mid-season finale. So
we just need to pivot.
Yeah, I would love to pivot somewhere. But I'm skeptical. But then again,
yeah, we never know.
Something's got to happen. We're gonna eventually bring them all together, and then maybe things will get interesting again. So yeah, eventually. Also, will we have a Salem check-in next episode?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. What's the next thing that's gonna happen there? I don't know. I want to see Emerald do something. Emerald
Well, that's
seems
the thing.
like
There's
she's
just
gonna.
so much. Like, there's so many pieces, but like none of like it's like a chessboard, and nothing is moving, and it's like we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we've more just been like paying off this like separation rather
Right.
than it's
Like we're not really moving forward at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd like to see Emerald do something. A lot of people are shipping the Emerald and the Cinder lately.
I mean, it seems legit. That's okay.
Yeah, that's it. That actually seems like one of the ones that they might actually do.
Right. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Except they're not going to, but
They're not going to, but they could. Yeah, there you go. So, let us know comments. Were you feeling the Black Sun this episode, or were you feeling did you like the Blake? Are you happy with where the show is, or like us? Would you like us to pivot?
Mom or dad?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you feel about
Hashtag Team Blake's Mun. Hashtag Team Kali. Hashtag Team Gira. And you have to spell the names right in the comments. So it's a spelling test too. Yeah, good luck with that. It was in the credits. That's the only reason I knew. Yeah, we'll be back next week to discuss chapter 6. And yeah, YouTube comments, subscribe to us there if you have not yet. Tumblr asks and comments on our website. A lot of good discussion about RWBY the past few weeks. It's been good. And overlyanimated.com for everything. Consider supporting us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons: Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jay, John Finish, and Victoria and Katrin, aka Fever, Mitch, Gunnar, Receive, Exchange, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel, Rose, Genevieve, Brian, Cookette, Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, Fusion, Skylark, Patron, Katrin. Check out overlyanimated.com for a bunch of podcasts. Recently, we had our Moana review go up last night. We also had Steven Universe listener feedback. Today we'll have new Powerpuff Girls discussion up. Middle of next week we're going to have a Beauty and the Beast retrospective, more Steven Universe discussions to come. Lots of stuff at overlyanimated.com. Anything else, Delaney?
I'm just glad Blake is here, but we'll probably won't see her again for like 5 episodes.
Just glad Blake is here, but now that you had your Blake solo episode, that's it for the season. We're done.
That's
done
it.
now.
That's it.
You better be happy with what you've had, is what they say.
I better just deal with it.
Yeah, yep. But it was pretty good. Okay. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.